Dunk survives the trial, only to realize that winning is being the primary reason the realm's best hope is now a funeral centerpiece. The season wraps with a somber goodbye to Ashford and a classic Targaryen parenting fail, as Dunk decides the best way to raise a prince is to kidnap him for a road trip through the dirt. It's a quiet, heartbreaking coda that proves the real Game of Thrones isn't about the chair. It's about having enough salt beef to survive the next ditch.
I think there's a lot to talk about, even though not much happens in this episode. So let's just get into it. This is Shelf to Screen, the podcast where we talk about adaptations of sci-fi and fantasy to the big and or small screen. I'm Joe Perry.
I'm Jen Isgro.
And I'm Tom Kokosa.
And we're going to be talking about the finale of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, Season 1, called The Morrow. And I have a note right away off about the title, because thinking about it, I was just thinking, like, okay, the day after the trial, right? This is what this whole episode is. It's just kind of like a wrap up, the day after, the aftermath. But I feel like there's more to it than that, because they talk about the morrow. I feel like later in the episode, is it when he's talking with Maekar? And again, we're just jumping right through and skipping through, but just because this is related to the title of the episode. Oh, he talks about Sir Arlen used to say, at night before they would go to bed, he wonders what the morrow will bring.
Right.
Okay.
So I feel like it's also not just talking about the day after the trial, but also like pondering about the future and his future and any like the opportunities that are out there for him. For Dunk. Sir Dunk.
Maybe.
Sir Dunk?
Maybe. Sir Dunk?
So I guess that'll be the first thing. One of the first notes I had was like, I was right, and I thought I was wrong, and now it turns out I was right, but I had tricked myself the other way.
I don't think we still know yet.
No, I mean, whatever. He clearly has a vision, or he's talking to Sir Arlen, and asks why you never knighted me.
But he's not dead yet.
I don't think that's real. I don't think that actually happened. I think that's him imagining talking to Sir Arlen now.
Oh, I don't think so.
But I'll go one further. I don't think Sir Arlen was ever really knighted.
Whoa.
If you listen to the story that he tells a story about men went off to war and they would nail a penny in a tree and then take it off when they came back.
Yeah.
And then his name is Sir Arlen Pennytree.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he was ever knighted. I think he just went off to war.
Well,
and then became an itinerant fighter. Like, he was just a soldier.
You don't think that
I think that's
potentially he's saying that he was a squire for a hedge knight as well. He was not a lord or anybody. Just like Dunk came up with his own sigil
name,
and his own name, Sir Arlen did the same thing.
Yeah, I think Sir Arlen did the exact same thing. He just said, "I'm a knight one day."
I don't think that means no. I don't mean that. I mean in the sense of like there are hedge knights. Right. Yeah. And they don't have families like sigils and things like that. So when they do become knights, they have to make it up. And that was Arlen's story of how he came up with Pennytree, just like Dunk's story. I mean, I'm not saying he wasn't knighted. I'm just saying I don't think that the two things are connected.
I think when Dunk's imagining or remembering or whatever this conversation is, asking him, why did you never knight me? And his answer is to tell a story about what was supposed to happen in his life, except he's here right now. Mm-hmm. I think he's basically saying like, I never knighted you because I just, this is what happens. I don't know how to do that. I'm not a real knight. I thought that was the reason that he told that story.
But Dunk knows the words too. So he must've learned them from Sir Arlen, right?
He doesn't know the words.
He didn't do it.
He didn't do it.
But I mean, he again, I don't know.
I think people have a general idea of like, oh, this is how you do that kind of stuff. But like, he doesn't know the words.
I 100% thought that was a real memory, and I thought that when he woke back up and said like a good night always finishes the story, I thought that meant like, oh, so he's not dead yet. He's not done with him, so he might still knight him. But then the very last shot is that Sir Arlen peeling off from them.
Yeah, like and that's
so that's the only thing that maybe might give me pause that it was. Is Sir Arlen even real in any of that?
Well, I do want to say, like, we're talking about this.
Crazy.
I actively disliked all of this. Really, really disliked all of this.
Oh boy, hot take finale. Here it comes.
Well, whatever. We'll get into the whole episode, but everything with Sir Arlen in this episode I didn't like, especially that end scene. Like I don't like. I don't. It didn't work for me. It didn't work that like
I thought it
Sir
was
Arlen's
Raymond.
like passing the fake knight torch down to him. Now you could be a hedge knight, and I don't.
No, I think that was more of a Dunk letting him go.
Yeah,
like letting go like all of this thoughts and feelings he has about Sir Arlen. Because like the whole time, I mean, this whole season, he's thinking about Sir Arlen and thinking like, wait, is this the guy I thought he was? Right? Like now that he's looking back on all of his memories of Sir Arlen, he seems to be questioning his original perception of Sir Arlen and thinking that this the guy that I always thought he was? Maybe not. And I think that's just him letting go. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I guess I think you're right, but I also think that's not one of the reasons I didn't like that. That's 100% not in line with like what he actively does in the episode, which is basically say like Sir Arlen had the right way about it, and not only that, but this kid needs a little bit of what Sir Arlen taught me, and like so he's not like he's embracing that. He's not letting like he's not walking away from it. He's saying like that's
I'm not saying he's walking
path.
away with it. He's not questioning it anymore.
Okay, all right. Okay.
So then why wouldn't Sir Arlen just like fade out? The fact that he rode off on a white horse made me think it was Raymond who was just given a white horse and is his friend, and he just like went home in another direction.
Sarah
and then
said
we were
the
like,
same thing.
He clearly had white hair and a beard.
Confusing.
Sarah thought it was Raymond too.
Yeah,
he went into the wheat fields like Gladiator.
But he didn't disappear. He just rode off.
He just walked off screen. He just rode off screen.
Yeah, he just rode off screen. The other thing is, all right, so there was two things that I wanted to talk about in that when you brought up the line, a true knight always finishes his stories.
Yeah.
Shot at George R. Martin. Shots fired.
A little bit. Yes. Yeah, I thought so too.
Possibly. Well, he finished this story.
Did he? He's got like 17 more he wanted to write.
12.
12
more?
One
okay.
story,
I'm sorry.
Plus if you and then the two books that he still needs to finish for
sure, okay.
The Song of Ice and Fire.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it until I saw somebody post something about it online. I was like, oh yeah, I didn't think about like, hey, because he does he almost winks at the camera when he says that.
Yeah.
But I was thinking more of, you thought, there's the playfulness in this story, the way they're telling it is there's a serious moment there, and you think you're gonna find out the answer. No, he didn't knight him because this is where he dies.
Yeah.
And then he gets up, and just like Dunk with the
they love a
open.
pretend eyes open death on this show.
Yeah, very weird. And then he wakes up, and then he's like, a true knight always finishes his story, and he almost like wink. And then, but I will say this.
Then he dies. Doesn't he die right then?
No.
After he says that?
He dies he dies very soon after, because the thunder's rolling in and the clouds are rolling in through the whole time that scene's happening, and the story begins where it's raining out and Sir Arlen's dead. So I think this is right before, but the question still stands, like, did he then knight Dunk, Sir Dunk?
Yeah.
And I think I love that the show decided to really like play with this and tease us with this whole thing, because in the story, like, you're like, did he not? It doesn't really matter. Who cares? But they really like kind of make it a part of the whole story, is like, keeping you guessing and never giving you the exact answer. And I like that.
I feel like at this point in the show, like it should never come up again. Like at this point, he's a knight.
Well, if they do, that's like jumping the shark in the show, I think, if they get to that point.
Yeah.
They're like, we got to keep people interested somehow.
Yeah.
Let's reveal what really happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's no, like the greater point is it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah. Right.
He clearly is a knight, and he's like a famous knight that like is responsible for a prince dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't think it's a moot point anyway. Yeah.
Can we go back to the first scene, which is
Sure,
like
let's open up.
one of my favorite scenes of the whole season?
The jazz music.
The jazz. I have like 6 notes.
I hated
for
it.
this scene.
Hated. There's literally one. I mean, there's like one part of this episode that I like. It's in this opening bit, but I hated the music in the beginning.
Yeah, it was weird, but I just
hated
like
the music at the end. Hated this
when-
is not a show that should have anachronistic music in it.
It was very short though too. It was only like
it was just the
10
opening.
seconds or whatever.
Yeah.
So they didn't it's not like it rolled through the whole episode. They just
That's true. It wasn't like somebody who had a boombox or whatever, but like still jazz should not be playing in this.
And then he's like, I can't help him. His wounds are mortifying. He's like, get the fuck out of here. You're a terrible maester. He's a shit maester. That's it. You never hear anything more about it.
He's good now.
He says something like he couldn't cure an itchy asshole or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
To that
No, he
effect.
said like an itchy asshole is beyond your abilities or something.
He's like, it's beyond my abilities. Right? He's great.
Yes.
I love him so much.
His line about like his line to like the guilt that Dunk feels about killing Sir Baylor. Fuck him and fuck you. Yeah. That's the best part of this entire episode.
Well, yeah, and he goes, he's like, I fought for you. He's like,
the apple boy fought for you.
The apple boy fought for you. Still doesn't remember his name.
That guy picked a fight against 2 guys who couldn't fight back.
Like, he's like, he wasn't in any danger. I fought against guys who was sworn to protect him.
Right.
Oh my God. And
so
then
I did
he
love
uses
that.
an antler as a crutch.
He does. Like, he's great. And like, I haven't read the other story. So I legitimately do not know if any of the characters come back in later stories or not.
Well,
but I will say this, after watching this episode of television, I am very comfortable that this show is going to alter those stories if necessary to put these characters back in it. So because that's what this episode was.
I have some information about that. Some real world information about that. So Daniel Ings was interviewed in Collider, and he talks about a lot of things, but there's a little bit about this, right? He says, I couldn't possibly comment on series 2. But I would love for audiences to get to see Lionel Baratheon again. I'd love to play this guy again. He's not in the second book or the third book, as with the first. These series will be very faithful to George R. R. Martin's writing. Actually, I spoke to George one day on set. He came down and was like, your character comes back later on down the line. Ugh. And he's back to him saying, and I had done a little deep dive into Westeros lore online, and you can find so much of the history that's written, even if the books haven't necessarily been written yet. But yeah, there's some interesting story to tell further down the line with Lionel, Dunk, and Egg. But I have to wait to see if the story catches up to it. And if that story ever gets told, I'd be pumped.
All right.
It's a long quote, but
he's not confirming or denying season 2, really.
He's saying. Well, he's not.
That's
what I think. I think there's a very. I feel like this episode kind of gave me a vibe that like, hey, they're gonna do adaptations of whatever is in story 2, and they can add shit because and they can just let you know what's happening with characters that aren't in that story. Because I feel like a lot of that's what happens in this episode. A majority of this episode is stuff that's not in the book. It's happening. Like, it's not necessarily conflicting with book.
No,
canon,
a lot of it. A lot of it's just
It's just-
expanding on what.
Yeah,
is-
exactly. And
Yeah,
I
it's
think
just-
they'll have room to continue to do that.
Yeah, it's definitely
Right.
it's beefing up. Like the end of the story is pretty straightforward. You know,
Yeah.
there is the scene with Makar and him, and I mean we could talk about that whole thing, which was a little different. But I think also he gets his own horsebacks.
Yes.
Raymond doesn't get it because he winds up
I don't
getting
think
the armor. and
I
stuff.
don't think you see Raymond again after.
Yeah, you might
I don't
not.
think so.
I think yeah, he gets the horse. He doesn't give it to Raymond. He just gets the horse back, and he has the conversations with Baylor's
Right.
son, with
Yeah.
right with Makar, and then the conversation at the end. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
Egg.
Yeah. We could go back to Raymond.
Oh no, poor boy.
He gets married to the prostitute and thinks he got her pregnant already.
Oh no, Raymond is my note about this.
Like,
I
it
guess I have
starts
to
out-
marry her.
Yeah, it starts out where it's like, oh, okay. Then you're
Yeah.
like, oh, all right. Then you're like, oh, he's so like inexperienced that
Yeah.
he thinks that like she can tell what the baby
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
after
One
a
night-
couple hours.
Also
Yeah.
that he got her pregnant.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's probably what's his name's kid.
Right.
Oh
the other
yeah,
guy.
the other.
Or
Gandara.
actually, the process it would literally be anybody's kid.
That's true. That's true. It could literally be anybody.
But
Um
that's all right. She's cool.
I do just getting back one more time to the first scene when with Lionel Baratheon and he goes, he offers him to come with
Yeah.
him and work with him or serve him, and he says at the end before they leave, he's like, "Well, I'm leaving after the roast." It cuts to the funeral of Baylor's body burning, and I'm like, "Oh my god."
He's so good. He's so well written, and that character's awesome.
You think he's talking
Yeah.
about like some great feast
Yeah.
Yeah.
after the tourney, and it's not. Now he's talking about Prince Baylor's funeral.
Yeah.
Such good stuff there.
It also, I think, you've got from the original Game of Thrones stories, right? You have, Robert's Rebellion, and that's over a girl but like, it also is good to see like, well, you know what? The Baratheons just, I guess, as a familial through line, hate these guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it's good to kind of establish that too. Like he, like the Apple boy, like think that they're just filthy invaders,
Yeah.
and there's no love lost.
Well, we got some
So-
good, more Apple puns a little bit here
Oh,
in this episode, so I was happy
I-
about that.
I think of you with every Apple pun, or not even puns, just like Raymond's just like drop. Oh, we're gonna go back to the cider business, and there's
Yep,
just like
yep.
I'm a new green apple or whatever.
Better than a
be a-
wormy one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
then
wormy,
one
all
more.
right.
Well, my
You don't have to
favorite
talk about apples in every breath. Like it's okay.
my favorite one was his new wife when she says, "Oh, your brains are all applesauce." She said-
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even hear that one.
It's on.
Oh
It's
my
like the
God.
second
Yeah.
scene when they're in the like the tavern area.
Oh yeah, where he's like,
before he talks
why
to
is
Daeron.
the had to get the bees and
Oh yeah,
around
with I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
please don't bury me in bees. That's the last time or
those
way
guys
I
are
would want
just
to be
dead,
buried.
and like that's all you get for that.
He's
Yeah.
put the queen bee in the
That's it.
casket. They said.
Yeah.
That's it. Oh my
Beesbury.
God. Beesbury.
Yeah.
And everyone's just like hanging out in there with the bees.
I guess
Well,
so.
they're not.
They're
Just let them
swarming.
fly. You're not gonna do anything. They're not wasps.
I know.
Yeah.
How about?
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna talk about get over to like Egg and Dunk
Yeah.
and Makar, those scenes. What did you all think about the scene with Egg almost killing his brother?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Question
No.
mark?
pretty good. Yeah.
Was he gonna do it? Was
Yes.
he gonna make him a sister? Get himself a
No,
sister?
he
Or
No, I
Was
think he
he-
was gonna kill him.
I think he was gonna kill him. I think he saw his blonde hair growing back, and was reminded of why he hates that, and decided to kill his brother. I don't think you need Egg to be tempted to be evil, and that's why the audience needs to understand that it's not healthy for him to be around his family. Like, his family are a bunch of assholes. Like, the audience already understands why Dunk would want him to leave, like, and why Egg might want to leave. You don't have to have Egg being tempted to kill his brother. I didn't like. I thought it was very melodramatic. I felt like this was the one episode of the show that like executives had a lot of feedback about what they needed to see, and they were like, "You need to have stakes for next season." And I felt like they kept getting that note, and they kept just throwing things in here to like try and hook an audience to watch next season.
This is what I think of that scene. I liked it, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I think it's reminding everybody that, yeah, right, Baylor, right? I think there's two things in this episode where it's about the Targaryens, right? And it's Lionel in the beginning saying, you know, he didn't sacrifice anything for you. Like, he was in no danger. You think he's great. He's a shit Targaryen. Only good dragon's a dead dragon. And then you get Egg doing that, where you think, you know, he's a Targaryen. Like, no matter what, he's a Targaryen, and they're all going to wind up doing something shitty.
Right.
So that's the reason I like that. Now, I don't know if that was the intention of it, but that's what I took away from it.
I do think that was the intent. I think it was really for. I think that intention of that scene is for the audience to say like, "Oh no, if Egg stays, he'll be bad like the rest of them."
Well, it almost was like I don't know if I'm using the word red herring correctly, but like Maekar seeing that made Maekar think, oh, I have to get him out of here. So then when Egg shows up at the end, that's why you think, right? Is that like the order of the show? Like, but then it ends up being not true because Maekar didn't.
Yeah, like
so it was like
that was
Maekar's.
I didn't like that either.
When Egg showed up, it was like, you know, Maekar saw the light because look, his little boy who we thought was so innocent is going to do this. Like, let's get him out of here before it's too late. But then that was just like to throw us off.
Is that?
I can't remember if that's like the correct order.
It's after. It's after the first conversation. It's when It's after Dunk's refused to go with them, and then Dunk comes and interrupts to say, "I'll take him."
I'll take him, and he says no.
And he says no.
But and
he says, I have to say, I do like he is a very loving father, and like that's legitimate, and like him saying to Dunk, "I've got one son left."
Yeah,
like
he says he's my last son, as if the other two sons are dead.
The other three sons. He's got three sons that are still alive.
He says he's my
last chance for like a good son. That's what he means, though.
Yeah, he means.
Does he, or is he like these other two sons are basically dead, useless pieces of shit?
Yeah, they are. That's what he means. So I have one more chance to get it right.
What I'm saying. It's like they're dead already to him.
No, well, they're not dead, but they're like. I think he feels like he's failed as a father.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He's already.
Third time's the charm, Dunk.
Right.
Yeah.
And like he can't risk him just dying in a field, you know.
Which I guess.
Which is. It's a reasonable thing to say,
but
and like,
wouldn't you think? Like, I mean, I immediately think, hey, so do the opposite what you think you should do because you fucked up the other two.
Well, I mean,
so let him go. And
he
that's
is
what
saying
you
like
think happens. You think he's like, okay, you know what? I don't want to fuck up this one like I did the other ones. I'm gonna let him go with Dunk, and then they make some stupid decision. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it's a stupid decision at the end. To be like, no, Maekar didn't let him go. He snuck off. Like what? And that's like a whole change now because that's how are they going to roll that into the next seasons?
Exactly. That's my point. Like now you're going to keep now that even if they're not in the books, and I don't know the answer to that, like you're always going to have the Targaryens going like, I have to find my son. Like we a manhunt and this and that.
Yeah, unless he just like was like thinks about it, wakes up the next morning, is like, you know what? Maybe I should let him go, and just doesn't do anything.
But he doesn't even know if that's. He doesn't even 100% know that that's where he went.
He knows that's where he went.
Yeah, he knows. He knows for sure that's where he went.
When he was saying, "Come to Summer Hall," and you know, I was like, "That's a pretty good deal. You should have went."
That is a good deal.
Yeah.
I mean, if they weren't Targaryens, I guess.
Like, it was a very nice way of saying, like, you clearly need additional training.
Right.
Oh yeah, he's like, he'll squire under you, and you could finish your training.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he gets 2 offers to go to 2 of the big, like, most powerful houses in the Nine Kingdoms? Question mark.
Yeah. I did that was my second favorite. Like, I like when a show changes the title at the end of the first season. I enjoy that. I feel like that's like an in joke in the fan community that I missed. That like 2 of those things aren't like that people are like, why there's more lands than there are kingdoms.
Oh yeah. Well, I didn't look. I meant to look it up just to confirm like what exactly the difference is. But I always remember like Dorne not being part of the kingdoms.
Yeah, I don't think
it never surrendered to the Targaryens.
There's a part where like Robert Baratheon will say like, 7 kingdoms, 1 king, or something. So it's like, but there's a prince in Dorne who's like in charge of Dorne,
right,
but
the
no one
islands
else
too, right? Aren't the
I don't think he's the king of the Iron Islands.
Right. No, but that's listed as one of the 9 kingdoms.
Yeah.
Right. I think those are the 2 that aren't.
Yeah, I was looking them up.
Of the 7.
I feel like
Right.
Yeah, there was another one in there that didn't sound familiar, so I don't know if
I said the Vale.
The Vale, the Reach, the Westerlands, the North.
The Westerlands, yeah. What's that?
I don't know. Dorne.
Yeah. All the other ones I heard of. The Westerlands, I didn't know what that was, so I thought maybe that was. I don't know. I didn't look it up. I guess I could Google it if we really want to.
Oh, the Riverlands, I think.
Yeah. The North, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, Jen, your thought. I want to know what your thoughts are on that change of the ending there, where Maekar didn't let him go. Egg sneaks off.
Yeah, I read something online that somebody thought that like he did let him go, but now he's like pretending that he didn't let him go. I don't think that's I think he looked really mad, like he didn't really. I don't know. So like he could go, but nobody knew that he said it was okay. Or something. So I don't know. That was just an idea that I read
like
online.
He doesn't want to look like like people questioning him. How could you let your son go?
Yeah, so. I don't know. But then there's still like he would still have to pretend to look for him, I guess. So it doesn't really make sense. I don't. It would have been nice for them to just be able to go off and have another adventure without like the same shit happening with the Targaryens looking for him. Like So I don't know. I guess it was like dramatic. It was like a nice little end to the show, like a hook for next season. That wasn't just like them walking off into the sunset together.
I want to believe that when they start the next season, they're going to just write that off. They'll do a Wheel of Time and just totally like write off like what happened. They'll just be like, no, they're not looking for him anymore. He changed his mind.
Like if they don't find them, then Dunk doesn't know.
It's fine now.
Dunk doesn't know that they're looking for him. So
I know.
As long as they never catch him, you wouldn't even know about it. It's like we don't see the Targaryens.
Yeah, but then I would just wonder why then did they end this? Like why put that in? I feel like they wouldn't have put it in the end of the season. They wouldn't have made that change at the end of the season unless there was plans to roll
I don't know.
with that.
I feel like there's no exciting ending without that.
It was nice when Egg shows up. You think
it's nice, but that's not a good way to end a show.
I think
it's very happy. It's a happy ending. The 2 of them ride off into the sunset.
But it's not over. Like there's more to come. So they're
going to Dorne.
Yeah, I think like
I don't know.
All right. So the book, that's how the book ends, right? The book ends with them like basically kind of going like, "Hey, we've never seen Dorne before." And remember that girl that remember the girl that I liked? She was that's where she went, right? So let's go.
She's going to Dorne.
Right. So
damn it, Dorne.
Right. Lean into one, Dorne. So again, I feel like this is like the show that was the episode that was most like, I think you're exactly right, Jen. I feel like this is very executive-y kind of like, it's not catchy enough at a hook, right? Like, the reason I love this show so much is that even though clearly the stakes got more and more as this show progressed, it's a much simpler story. The Targaryens are not like I understand this is a whole show, The House of the Dragon, but people don't like that show as much because it is only Targaryens or mostly Targaryens. Like that, we don't need them to enjoy this world. This is a show about a regular person and a guy who happens to be a Targaryen, like just traveling around. Let them have adventures. That's fine. Like, we don't need extra shit.
Well, there's going to be plenty of shit for them to do. Like, it's not like there's
a whole world out there.
Unless they're going to just start peppering in like obviously they want to fill out some stuff, beef it up. So maybe they're just going to use this as the additional things. Like there's always going to be, it's going to be like Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Every once in a while, they'll cut to the police officers investigating all the deaths and things that are happening.
Okay, fair enough.
They'll just cut every once in a while to people searching for them.
I almost feel like it could have been like added in afterwards, where they filmed it, they showed everybody, and they were like, huh? And they were like, no, like go back and make the dad not know. It's just that one little scene. So I don't know.
Yeah, they could have totally added that in.
Look at your counting heads.
Like Home Alone.
I felt it was very like it gave me a beginning of Home Alone vibe. Where he's like,
count the wrong kid.
Right.
The bald kid.
We still, I know we kind of touched on it a bit, but we moved away from it though, And does anyone thoughts changed on whether you think Dunk was actually knighted by Sir Arlen? Did this episode change any thoughts? Convince you otherwise?
No, it's still ambiguous to me, and I don't think it really matters. Like we said it before, like he's a better knight than most of the real knights. He's better at it. I mean, like not as far as fighting, but as far as like being what a knight is supposed to be.
Following the code of chivalry.
Yeah. So.
Right. Yeah, I think that's the most important thing. I will say that over the course of this show, my opinion has changed twice. So I thought he wasn't knighted, then I thought he was knighted, and now I think he wasn't knighted again. But I think like that conversation should not come up anymore, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, like everything about Sir Arlen and what he did or didn't do or how like that's all gone. He walked away. He's gone.
Yeah.
Leave it in the past.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's it. I think, they put an end to that question by not answering it.
I just feel like they should have, like, as he walked off into the field, he should have, like, disappeared. Because it really just looked like another person that was riding with them. Like, it wasn't clear that this was, like,
a
ghost or, like, not a real thing. I thought. I don't know. Like, I got it after a minute, but I was like, what is this?
Right. The wheat should, like, the field shouldn't have moved as the horse went through.
Yeah, like, it just should have, like, he just should have, like, faded away.
Did you want him to do, you were doing like a Russell Crowe and Gladiator thing there, as we talked about before. With his hands in the wheat field.
I don't know. I just,
like
I thought it was like a weird
Field of Dreams.
It was just a weird visual.
Maybe should have had him singing in Dothraki.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And he I don't know. Something else to make it more clear.
So just a little information. So HBO reported a staggering 9.5 million viewers for this episode in the first 3 days. And it's officially become the third biggest series debut in HBO. It says HBO Max history.
Okay. Well, so they can go back and forth between HBO and HBO Max and regular Max?
I don't know what that means. I really don't know what that means. Like,
since it became HBO Max again?
I don't know.
Like 3 months ago or whatever it was.
Well, it's just trailing only The Last of Us and House of the Dragon. Okay, so I guess those started when it changed to Max, right?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I think that
it was HBO Max, and it was just Max. Now it's HBO Max again.
Like, since it's moved to a primarily streaming model.
I don't know what that means, if that means in all of HBO's history or not. So that's all.
Well, I don't know. Debut, maybe. Maybe not like finale, but
this was on this was Gizmodo. Maybe I can find a little bit more about what they said there. But did you know? So remember, we've been talking about like the ratings of some of the episodes, like getting 9 7s and 9 8s on IMDb. Apparently, there were fans of Breaking Bad who were purposely ranking the episode 1 star because they didn't want it to be rated as high as one of the Breaking Bad. It might be the final Breaking Bad episode.
Ozymandias. It's like
Ozymandias.
Like
and
how much free time do you have?
Apparently, then like fans of this show, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, then went to IMDb and started doing it to the Ozymandias episode where it no longer has like a perfect rating.
Oh wow!
Good.
Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
We tweeted about that. I thought that was really interesting.
I guess Breaking Bad fans care.
Fun
but
stuff.
Now you've ruined your own perfect show.
For those people who like to collect hard media, Warner Brothers just confirmed that the first season will be out on 4K Ultra HD and Blu-ray on June 16th.
When's the Wheel of Time DVD Blu-ray coming out?
I don't think ever.
Oh, okay. Sorry to dip into the past a little bit. Just a little annoying.
It includes a documentary called Building a Night and a set tour of Ashford Meadow.
Of course it does.
So
of course it does. Yeah, and some grass like from the meadows, like stuck inside the front cover. Right?
Maybe we can get free ones because we just plugged it.
Maybe
possible.
If HBO's listening.
HBO Max.
Hook us up.
Warner Brothers Discovery. Soon to be Paramount.
Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers Discovery.
Is that
Yikes.
the Animaniacs? The Warner Brothers and the sister.
The sister. The sister.
Your sister.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask a question. I said before I really dislike the use of anachronistic music in this episode, but I like the jazz in the beginning more than I like the song at the end because I really like the song at the end. And I don't know if either of you are familiar with that. Like familiar with the song 16 Tons. Right?
I've heard that song before, yes.
Oh, I can't remember.
I'm not like super familiar with it, but I've heard it before.
So it's a song, right? And if you listen to they have enough of it that you can kind of get a gist of it, right? So it's a song. It's like an old, like, American folk protesty kind of song about back in the day when you worked as a miner, like you worked in a mining town that was owned by the company that employed you. And the company that employed you also owned all the businesses in the town. And they didn't pay you enough to actually live. So you're constantly borrowing back from the company to buy food and buy supplies to like live in your life. So like you would work this horrible job, bust your hump to do as much as possible, but like still be in hock to the company. So you wouldn't even get a paycheck. You would still be at a negative. Yeah. That's what the song's about.
Oh.
I don't know why they picked that song because Dunk doesn't work for it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, none of it. Like it doesn't. I understand. Like it's a good song. I like the song. It's not really applicable.
Maybe it's like he thinks he got away from the Targaryens, but he really didn't because
that's
the kid snuck off.
Why
Scott Targaryen, but he didn't. But he's not like free to go. Like the Targaryens are still looking for him. He thinks he got away, but he didn't. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. I that works for me. I was just, I really wanted your take as to like why did they pick that song?
What is the name of it?
16 Tons.
Okay.
Maybe it's just maybe they're comparing Dunk, a Hedge Knight, to those miners.
Yeah, I think there's a certain there's an ethos about like, hey, a working man's never gonna get on top of it. He's always a working man's gonna be a working man his entire day, right? And I think that's or they just thought like, hey, I like the song. I want to.
Well, no, I was gonna say, they thought like they were just thinking. They didn't go past like this is a song about miners, and it was like miners are like the working class, just like Hedge Knights are. Like that could be the connection.
That could be it.
That's all they thought about.
Right.
It's as far as we can get.
Okay. I'm good with that.
All right. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we could get a official. I haven't heard anything about the music in that sense of like picking that song, because I was just watching it before, and I noticed it. I didn't remember that being at the end, but then I heard it and I was like, oh yeah. Interesting choice.
Yeah, I think
guess.
it was.
Yeah,
I didn't look it up to see, but I think it was Tennessee Ernie Ford. It was like his. There was like a in like the 50s, I want to say, there was like a pop version of that when I was a kid always got played on like the oldie stations. Not the version that was at the end of this, but like a different version of it.
So just about, we've been talking a lot throughout covering this series, this season, about the flashbacks with Sir Arlen. And I know, Tom, you did not like them in this episode. Yeah. But going back through the whole season, I was a little skeptical of them. I wasn't totally sold on them, but like, to be honest, Tom, I really like the flashbacks in this episode with Sir Arlen.
Fine.
I feel like, thinking back on the story, he talks about Sir Arlen so much in the story.
Yeah.
So I feel like this was the way to do that. Obviously it's a visual medium. So like, let's just show flashbacks instead of have Dunk thinking about him. Obviously you can't show him thinking about them, or this is him thinking about him, really.
Right.
You're kind of getting inside Dunk's head. And I always wonder if these flashbacks are, what's it called? What's the word you would use because they're his flashbacks. So they're not necessarily what really happened.
Oh yeah. They're very subjective. Like
subjective.
It's memory. It's not like it's not reality.
This isn't a flashback. This is his memory. So, so I kind of like that now. I kind of got that more now with this episode, and it's his memory. It's not necessarily what actually happened. It's how he perceived it, how he remembers it, and then also like I said, throughout the season when we're having these flashbacks, he's kind of questioning, Sir Arlen, and like thinking back on all the stuff, and the experiences we had with him and how he was, and it's. I don't want to say this because I feel like it's a cop out, but it's him grieving over Sir Arlen's death. This whole season is his grief, how he's expressing his grief. I feel like, at least I did. I feel like I kind of overlooked that through the whole season, and even in the story, because maybe in the story you don't get it as much, that he's like, you don't really feel him grieving, but I feel like in the show you feel him now. Like I'm making the connection where he's been grieving this whole time about Sir Arlen's death, and this is him coping with it. And it just literally, watching this episode made me realize that.
I think that's really insightful, Joe. I think I don't know if I necessarily thought about that, but I do think that you're right. I think Dunk's a more nuanced character, and not that he's one note in the story, but like you're getting it from his point of view, and he's not particularly skilled at introspection. So like you don't get a lot of like, you don't get a lot of that necessarily, but like, I think you're right. I think Sir Arlen's like finest achievement was this time that he did well in a tournament, not like, that he went whatever it was, four rounds, and like, so for Dunk to say like, okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this tournament and I'm going to win. And that's going to prove that, like, I think you're right. I think it's a way of like honoring him. And it starts out where he's going there, and his hope, his real hope. And I don't know if it's expressly said in the story. I don't know if it's really expressly said in the show. His hope is exactly what he gets 2 times in this last episode, which is that some lord will be so impressed by him that he will offer him like a permanent knightly position.
He gets
and like
2 proposals.
And he gets 2. But like, so I do think like
he just wants to win one. His whole thing is like, I just need to win one.
I just need to win once, right? One tilt, and I'll have enough money that I can do what I want. And if I do well, this is like my dream.
It's right? I'm auditioning here.
And like, and in a way, I think he's like, I'm gonna better Sir Arlen. And that's like where his head is at.
Yeah.
Like Sir Arlen never got this. He was a Hedge Knight to the day he died. I'm gonna be a Night Knight.
Yeah.
And it ends with him saying, no, like, I want to be a Hedge Knight. That's where real knighting happens.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Where real knighting, I like that phrase. Yeah, he's like, I've seen what these supposed real knights, which is kind of weird to me because, I mean, he's probably met a lot of knights before if he was around Sir Arlen for all this time squiring for him. I mean, unless he had to have been around other knights, right?
He did, but he probably spoke to squires more than he, like, interacted with, like, this level of...
Well, I would imagine all the squires talk shit about their knights, though. Like, that's...
Yeah. And I guess, like...
Maybe
I
never
imagine this is his first exposure to, like
the high, like the higher noble,
like what his dream was, which is like to be there. Like he says here,
the
like
heir to the throne. He's and the high seats of houses and things like that.
He you know, he paints the picture in this of like maybe we'll work with like a landed lordling, you know, like that's the level that he's like what the Fossaways are is like the highest that he's been around so far. Right.
And there's another line too now that I'm thinking about it, you know, putting that all together with the grieving Sir Arlen, right? He says to, is it the beginning conversation where he says like everything he might've said it to Maekar when he first talks to Maekar, like everyone I come in contact or whatever, everything I touch, I ruin or destroy. I don't know. He's something to that effect where he's like, you don't want me around because everything or everyone you know, whatever, come in contact with gets ruined or destroyed or whatever. And I didn't think about it until now, just talking about Sir Arlen, but he's also talking about Sir Arlen. Like I was just thinking about like the girl, like Tansel and obviously Baelor and the other knights who died. He's thinking about them, but Rafe now, right? We got a flashback with Rafe. So, you know, I'm putting all of those together as well. So
I like that.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it. I liked this episode better when I watched it, you know, a second time, and I liked it better the second time.
Okay.
I knew going in, and I'm sure you probably both felt the same, that there was going to be a lot of extra additional stuff added into this.
Yeah.
Because right after the trial, there's only like three or 4 pages or 5 pages left in the story.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like he gets to talk to everybody that's important. That's left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
this is little like goodbye with them.
He does his little goodbye tour.
Yeah.
With everybody. He talks to. We didn't talk about this, but he talks to Valar in the beginning. Yeah. And there's a lot of questioning of like why did the gods take Baelor and leave Dunk alive? You know.
Right.
That the conversation with Maekar, that first one, is really good. I really like that conversation where he's like, you know, I think about is my foot worth, you know, a prince?
Right.
And then he thinks about like how it could be at some point in life.
Like I doubt it. Right.
Yeah. But I didn't like the end. I'm sorry, it didn't ruin the whole episode for me, but the decision to not let Maekar, like for Egg to sneak off without Maekar, his dad, knowing. I still don't like that. No, sir, I don't like it. Anything else? Or should we just go into our ratings?
I think I'm good.
All right. I'll go first. I've thought about this for a bit. I'll give it a 3.5. Not my favorite episode, but I wasn't expecting much going into it, to be honest with you, just because of what, you know, we just said, where we knew it was just going to be a lot of kind of fill. Although they did do a good job of kind of making it interesting and adding to the story. But it was really just like a wrap up episode. So 3.5, but still good.
Yeah, I liked it a lot, actually. I'm going to give it a 4.
Wow.
If we didn't mention too, when Egg says to Dunk, like, I guess you're not the knight I thought you were.
Oh.
And doesn't it cut like right to the scene then, or it's very close where like, is he really a knight at all? Like,
Oh, I didn't pick up on that, Jen.
I'm not sure if it's right after, but I think it's close.
I don't think it's surprised for anybody who's listening. I did not like this episode. After the credits rolled, I watched this with my wife, and my first word was "woof."
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give it a 2-star. There was really only the only scene I thought actually was good is like the opening scene with and I did think a couple of the conversations were well done with Makar as well. At the end of that, totally. Well, like I said, I felt like this the first 5 episodes of the show, we had one show, and this 6th episode was like, make it like Game of Thrones.
Oh.
Like,
really?
Don't make, I felt like, not from the creative team. I really, really felt like, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe this was a creative decision, this is all generated by the showrunners, but I felt like this was like HBO saying, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, and I felt the thumb on the scale in almost every scene. Again, like the making Egg a potential murderer, I don't like it. I think it was really like that. I actually almost everything that I thought I didn't like Egg in this show at all. I didn't like the way I thought he was not good in this episode, and I feel bad because it's a child and he's very good in every other episode.
Well, you mean it's not him being good? You mean
I thought his performance was bad in this episode too. It's the one episode where I think he didn't act.
Sorry for making you say. Sorry, say that again, Tom.
But you recorded
trashing a little child.
Yeah, and another thing, and I feel bad because it doesn't ruin the whole season, and I'm going to be very excited to see season 2. I just felt like they were afraid that they had a show that was tight in scope, and somebody was like, no, you gotta make it bigger, you gotta make it more, like, it doesn't need to do that. And I felt like that was a bad change.
I thought that like every conversation in this was like a one-on-one though.
What I mean that you're right, Jen. I just be clear. What I mean is, like, I watched this episode and I believe that the Targaryen royal family is going to be in every episode next season. No matter what else is happening, you're going to see those people, right? And like I said, despite what that interview was, I wouldn't be surprised we see Lord Baratheon and Raymond as well. Like, I think they've decided that it can't be small in scope because people don't want that. People want Game of Thrones to be big in scope. I'm
going to disagree with you. I don't think that's what's going to happen.
I hope it's not, and I'm going to be excited to see next season.
They're making a conscious decision to keep it this way, to keep it like this.
I don't think.
Next season's going to be a little bit more grand because there's a little bit more of like
story is, right.
There's a little more like a set like location type things going on. But nothing like
they've
crazy,
leveled up. It should be a little bit more, right?
Yeah, it's not just going to be out in a field and under a tree for the entire season.
But I think watching this episode, I don't know how you could not think that tease of like Egg ran off by his own and his dad doesn't know where he is, and his dad explicitly tells Dunk, "I do not want him to go with you." You know.
They should have. Go ahead.
Like,
sorry.
I don't know how you can not expect that they're going to be in the next season.
But then what are you going to do? Like halfway through the same thing, they find him and.
No, I don't think they're going to be involved in the storyline at all. I think that it's going to be an adaptation of the second story, and you're just going to have a bunch of stuff with the Targaryens. Okay. And if you're going to do that, hey, let's go see a cider house. You're going to do that. Let's go see what Deary's hunting. And like, you're opening this up to
that's your concern. No, I see what you're saying. No, I don't. Yeah, I don't want that. I don't think anybody wants that. But maybe you're right. They think that that's what people want.
I think they think that's what people want.
I have faith that that's not going to happen. Although I still question that decision at the end, which makes me just a little bit nervous. Just a little teeny nervous. But season 2 apparently is already underway production. So
Yeah.
that's good news. So
Yeah, we'll find out soon, relatively.
2027.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about this show again in about a year. I don't know exactly a year.
Only 10 months away.
My guess is it's going to be at least second half of next year. But now that the season is over, final opinions. Was this a successful adaptation?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it was pretty much on the money. There were a couple of changes, a couple of additions or expansions, but for the most part, it was pretty spot on.
I think the last change at the very end might be the biggest change.
Yeah.
The flashbacks are flashbacks, right? Those don't really affect anything going forward.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest change now. That's the question mark. Yeah, successful. I agree. Definitely one of the better adaptations of literature to screen in terms of, being faithful to the story, the tone, the characters, and then obviously just making it really fucking good.
Yeah.
And it is my rating for this episode aside, the season overall is really fucking good, and I would recommend it to anybody. People who liked Game of Thrones or people who didn't. I think it's really well done. And
it's not Game of Thrones, it's not House of the Dragon. Even if you didn't like Game of Thrones, this is different.
Right. It's different.
It's in the same world, but different, very different. It's not medieval soap opera.
Right. It's no, I think it was really good. I am very excited that we won't have to wait too long for a second season.
Yeah. Awesome. But we've got plenty of other stuff to talk about in between anyway. We don't have to wait, a year and a half and talk about pets and horses and chickens and things. We've got other stuff to talk about. There's plenty of other adaptations to talk about.
We didn't have to talk about chickens. We chose to, and we wanted to.
That's right. But speaking of, do you want to tell people here what we're going to talk about next? Is that...
Yeah,
no,
you should.
Go join us no. Come into our Discord. We've already posted what we're talking about next on our next episode.
You don't want people to be prepared?
We can post... I guess we could tweet it out or something, too. It's more... I feel like that's more... People are going to... Oh, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I was going to try to talk my way out of it, but I can't.
Okay.
We got something new next week. Yes. We're going to be going... We'll tease? Do you want to tease it, Jen?
Sure. We're going to go more towards the science fiction side of science fiction fantasy. And we're going to go back...
More of the
way back to an extremely old piece of literature.
To the 19th century.
And a very new-ish movie. So I'm just gonna
very new.
Well, and so as compared to how old the book is, all right. But you know what I mean.
Right. It's not. Yes.
And I can pretty much guarantee that that's not going to be a successful adaptation as this was. But maybe I'll be proven wrong next week.
All right. I want to remind everyone, follow us on social media. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Blue Sky. Join us over in Discord to continue the conversation there. We also post our episodes on YouTube, so be sure to go to our YouTube page to like and subscribe and comment and do all that cool things. Rate and review us wherever you listen to podcasts, and check out our Patreon page to support us that way. Links to all the aforementioned information are included in the show notes to this episode. Final thoughts as we close the book on The Hedge Knight and A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms Season 1.
Good night always finishes the story. A true knight or a good knight? What was it?
A true knight.
A true knight always finishes the story. George.
Thanks everyone for listening, and you'll hear us next time.